it's been a few weeks since the initial mechanomantic energy wave hit Angel Grove and areas beyond, causing the disappearance of uh, the Prime Power Rangers team, along with several dozen Angel Grove citizens, and even Rita's chief lieutenant, uh, Goldar. Oh, and the dinosaurs. Um, you've investigated, defeated enemies, and come a long way since being the junior team. And you have pretty much cemented yourselves as the go-to team for defending the Earth at the present time. Um, you're enjoying a few days. It's been 3 days since your last mission. Uh, when you subdued the Dragon Zord, kept him from falling into the hands of the Machine Empire, and basically saved Angel Grove from absolute devastation. Uh, During the time, Zordon and Alpha have been researching the recovered pieces of alien technology and going over the scans and all the other data that you have collected over the last few weeks. And on the third day of your little break from your new normal, you are sitting at, well, anywhere that you are thinking that you would be when you hear your communicators go off and Zordon summons you to the command center. And as you arrive, Alpha is, as usual, frantically waddling back and forth from console to console, and Zordon greets you. Power Rangers, Alpha and I have made a major breakthrough toward finding our missing friends and neighbors. We have concocted a theory for you Rangers to strike back at our foes, but we need some help from an unlikely source to put the last piece to the puzzle. Using the energy particles, wavelength histories, and spare parts left behind by our adversaries, we can confirm the source of all of our troubles. A galaxy's conquering force of mechanoid and cybernetic evildoers called the Machine Empire. But knowing our enemy is only half of the solution, however. The Machine Empire is enormous and has within it many different facets and internal political struggles of its own. Knowing exactly where the energy wave came from, who sent it, and what we can do about it is like trying to pick out a single note in an orchestral symphony. Doable, but only with the right equipment. That is why I've brought you here. Because we need you to get that equipment. And he goes on to explain that the equipment we need is something that the Morphin Grid can't simply produce. And no matter how hard Alpha tries to build it, his efforts are being blocked by or scrambled by leftover mechanomantic pollution throughout the area. And he tells you there is only one place that you can get this piece of equipment. Alpha presses a few buttons on the console and brings up a display. And it's
either Edenoi or KO35.
No, it's right here on Earth.
Oh,
Emigran.
I was hoping for Edenoi. Oh well.
can't be on Mars.
Zordon and Alpha show you a holographic image of Emigrant Technology Building deep in Artec Valley. The creator of this piece of equipment is Dr. Adam Tam. The invention is a powerful energy analyzer that would work perfect for our needs. It's called the Good Listener. Dr. Tam has used the alien technology as the basis for this device. He planned on using it to measure optimal wavelengths of transmission frequencies to commercial satellites in orbit. It's useful to get around morphing grid pollution and trace these energy signatures back to the culprits. Or we can use it to get past the morphing grid pollution and trace the energy signatures back to the people who sent it. His lab is located on the top floor of Emigrant Tech. And you look at the diagram of the building and you see that the top floor is the 6th floor of the building. Due to possible negative public relations that could spring forth if you simply go there and essentially lay siege to the tech company, Alpha and I have come up with 3 possible ways that you could get in and acquire the device. And he further explains that you could, of course, sneak into the building after hours. You would have to get past the security system, and not be detected, obviously. Another way would be to talk your way in and out of the building. And the third would be to just ask Dr. Tam personally.
Good Listener? Really? That's the best name they could come up with?
That's what you're focusing on?
That was in character.
Where would we be able to find Dr. Tan if he's not in his office?
Let's see. Well, Alpha speaks up and says, you could try calling him.
Too obvious. We gotta find a hard way.
We have his number?
I'm sure he's listed.
Right, phone books.
Or we could call Emigrant and see if they could transfer.
That might be our first option. Anybody? What do you guys think?
I don't suppose we have any way to prove that we are who we are if we're doing it by the phone, do we?
That would be up for you guys to do.
Well, tanned if we don't, tanned if we do.
Jesus Christ.
I mean...
that's going to be a series of puns with that name, don't worry.
That reminds me, I need to actually keep track of your guys' story points. Because I was going to give you one.
So if we sneak in after hours, Ricky's going to set off every alarm.
That. Yes, that was out of question from the beginning. You guys could do that on your own, but I cannot.
If we're going to talk our way in, I have the social skills of a brick. So I can sneak. I can sneak, but I can't convince. Right? Let me double check. I could do something.
Now, why don't... if we're talking about this, why don't we try all 3 of them at
Right.
this point?
Jonas, what you think?
I'm thinking the easiest way would just be to walk in the front door.
I thought we were gonna say, just ask the guy.
Literally what I was saying there, buddy boy. Walk
Oh,
in
that
the
was...
front door. Walk in, morphed, ask to speak to Dr. Tam.
Oh yeah, I mean, that was also my plan, but then they said that those were 2 different options, so I assumed that he was just out for some reason.
Right. Yeah, we could try calling him and...
Calling him, I don't think would work.
No.
Again, no way to really identify. I think
Yeah.
walking in,
Yep.
morphed, and just asking will probably be easier. At the very least, we can talk to. It'll get us the chance to talk to Dr. Tam. After that, it becomes a little more dicey, and I think we should be a little. How do I say this? I think we should only a couple of us should go.
I'm good for stakeout.
But I would suggest a couple of us remain either here or nearby in case something happens.
I can do a little bit of persuasion if
I
necessary.
was going to say.
I can also hang outside.
I was going to say Ricky would probably be best on oversight, so like on a building across from or something, just by nature of being the archer
Right.
slash marksman slash sniper dude, he'd probably be best there. I was
Yep.
thinking me and Colin
Yeah.
go in with
What's-
everyone else.
Donnie, Ricky, what you got?
Stand ready.
Oh, well, I'm pretty happy with that. That's something I'm pretty used to. So if you just need some backup, just break the window and I will.
Just break
Worst
the
comes
window.
the worst, I break
I
the
like-
freaking window with a chair.
I like
Just break
how
glass.
it's like, in order to prevent a PR fiasco, I've come up with 3
commit
foolproof ways. Meanwhile, we're just like, you don't understand how foolish we are. Yes. I like this plan. I love
out
it.
of game, and this is no offense, Ricky, but there's a very good reason I'm recommending that you stay on Overwatch and not actually come in.
Out of game, there's also a good fucking reason why he's just completely fine and just said what he did.
Yeah. Ricky
No
can't
offense,
sneak. Ricky can't talk.
The title of sniper is literally the only thing he can fucking do in this kind of mission. So
I swear, I just imagine Ricky's just fully morphed with like his bow on and everything, and
Oh,
he's
yeah,
got
he's
it
like-
primed he's got it primed with like a red dot sight and everything. He's like, just give it a word.
Yep,
Give me
he's
the
like
The
freaking
feet
word.
that he
unconscious
has
the
for it,
whole
yeah,
game.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got it, but he's also staring at a bird going, that bird's far away.
I wonder if I can hit it. He's like following it with the bow, and he's in his mind. It's like he's not firing anything, but you just see him go pew.
You see him chasing butterflies on the rooftop. You're just like, fuck.
Half the times imagine just blowing the entire building up.
Oh, that's a you bird.
I love it. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we doing?
I think Jonas fucking got it on the spot. Talk our way in, see if we can talk to Dr. Tan in person.
At the I'm also going to preface that while to Colin, but anyone else is here so they can listen. Remember, while our first goal is to try and get the tech.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily have to take it. We just want what we want more is his cooperation.
Yeah. No. We're not coming in to strong arm and steal your
We
gear.
don't want to strong arm him. We want him to work with us. Whether that's him letting us borrow his scanner, or we create some sort of link up between the command center and his lab.
Yeah, I agree.
Unfortunately, it's a small device
Okay.
that has to be directly put into the your equipment.
Can
So
we?
you will have to
To be
acquire
fair,
it.
this is Jonas, not necessarily knowing what it looks like, but is trying to
Yeah.
plan for multiple options.
Well, when showing you the
It's bigger than
information
box.
on the device, Alpha would have brought up a picture or
Okay.
like a holographic display, so you would have seen roughly what it is.
It looks like a Game Boy.
Yeah, you'd have to know what it was if you were going to sneak in there and steal it.
That's not true. I can
Fair.
steal a thermos.
Unfortunately, we're not any of the Ranger teams that would have probably been better for a stealth op. We are not Special Operations Squadron Go Busters. We are not any of the ninja based
Are
ones.
Are you telling me armored knights can't sneak?
Yes.
Sorry.
Sneaking is literally not what we
Clank.
do.
Clank.
Maybe if we were playing Robin Hood style characters, we could get away with it. But we're not. But we are not the Lupin Rangers either.
No. I mean, I've got a
Begin
couple points of
Operation
infiltration.
Leroy Jenkins.
Hell yeah.
DBK, you're not in Foundry. I don't know if you noticed.
One moment.
I just
I thought I
glanced over and
clicked
saw
that
your name
thing.
wasn't there.
Thought I clicked the thing and it didn't do the thing. Sorry about that.
It's like, come on, clicky the thingy. All right, so how are you going to arrive? Like, you're obviously going to be morphed because you don't want to go stand outside the building with a shit ton of security cameras.
We have two options, and we can teleport to the front door or in the area, or we can come in stylish on our horses / motorcycles.
We have horses.
Oh yeah, we got Uma Riders. You weren't here for a lot of that.
Yeah.
We have horse motorcycles. Bikes. It's cool. Ricky still can't ride them. Man, we are just in like dump on Ricky mode today. My bad.
And again, this is me making fun of the character, not the player.
No, I love it.
I just want to make it clear that most of my teasing is aimed at the character, not actually the player, because sometimes.
I mean, I get it. It's that type of character. And I mean, you guys do a bombastic entrance. Ricky would just fucking stroll up to somewhere and just get him in the top of the building next door and just pull out a lawn chair and do whatever for like way too long.
I was just gonna
still morphed.
Like I'm not sure. I mean, we could give Ricky a tricycle, and I'm still not sure he could drive it.
Sidecar.
All right.
Yeah. So I think it's 6-1. I think if we were to teleport, I think it should be, if we're going to teleport at a vantage point, and then the rest of us try to get down the building. But I think it would just be easier if Ricky probably teleported to the building and we came in on the bikes.
Yeah, I was going to say, you and me on the bikes coming in. The others teleport to...
We're not there to cause fights, so yeah, we don't care if we're seen.
Wherever we decide oversight's going to be.
Alright.
Yeah.
Can I story point some binoculars or stuff to look at things better from the other
but
side?
you can walk over to the equipment area and pick up a pair.
Great.
You're in the command center. All your gear is here.
Okay, so I'm taking some binoculars and then the mentioned lawn chair.
Fucking
He's just gonna have a. He's just gonna have the lawn chair that what's his face had Dante's brother. Oh, what the freak is his name?
Virgil,
yeah. He's gonna have Virgil's lawn chair like the meme did. Just sits there. Someone just questions him, "Hey, why are you here?" Just turns around with the full Virgil suit and everything.
All right, and a med kit.
Yep. All right,
I got notes. I got notes.
All right, so you're grabbing a med kit, Ricky. You're grabbing binoculars.
Med kit, binoculars. Damn That's probably enough. I don't have enough time to install a range extender, so I'm good.
Yeah. By the way, Ricky, your upgrade to or your cannon, you'll have it in 2 days.
Yo.
You are so close.
What's the max range on that cannon, by the way?
Big.
What's the second range?
Oh, I don't remember.
All right.
You can look it up while I'm causing the death of your friends.
Yeah! We're gonna fucking die!
TPK! TPK!
For a minute, I thought you were saying DBK, and I'm like, what?
What?
What? I'm here.
I'm not dead yet.
Here.
All right. So, who's going to the to Emigran, and who is gonna hang out with Ricky and sit on lawn chairs and eat like Angel Grove equivalent of Quiznos while you are waiting for things to happen?
Colin's coming with me, so white and gold are going in. Pink and silver?
You guys can stay. You guys can all go. I'm good. Honest.
Should Ricky be left unsupervised?
Should Ricky
No.
be left unsupervised?
You know what?
Fucking
Absolutely not.
Ricky falls
Hey,
off the
you know
building.
what?
Wilhelm
You
scream.
had character development, but that's still a possibility.
You've had
Bro
character
attempts-
development, and you're starting in the right direction. But we need to wait till like halfway through the season.
Halfway through the season, that's gonna be funny because I'm gonna get something interesting.
All right. So you've settled on your plan.
Yep.
Did you want to teleport to a spot nearby that is secluded so that Ricky can run off to go up the building?
Yep.
Do you want to teleport to his birds or what is it, like his perch?
Well, I'm gonna say pink and silver go to wherever the perch is gonna be.
Okay.
Gold and white will go a couple blocks down from Emigrant, so they can come in on their bikes.
Okay. All right. So you all teleport. Ricky, you and Donovan appear on a rooftop across the street, scaring the crap out of some pigeons. Ricky, give me an alertness skill check.
All right. Alertness. Let's see if digital is gonna be nice with me today. The answer is a maybe.
Okay.
I need one more roll to be sure. We'll see.
So as you get your bearings on top of this roof, you see the Emigrant building. The building you're on is slightly shorter than Emigrant. Emigrant is one of the biggest buildings in Angel Grove, but you can see windows to the 6th floor. So if you needed to, you could shoot out a window and jump over there. You also have good line of sight to the front door, so you can see when John and Jonas ride up.
Right.
Okay, John and Jonas, as you appear a few blocks away on the side of a street, I'm assuming you've all already morphed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your morphed forms appear, and all right, take it away.
So we're gonna, summon the horses.
Okay.
Drive down.
All right, give me a driving skill test.
God, I have my thing.
14.
16.
All right. You guys managed to summon your Uma riders, hop on, start them up, no problem, and take off down the street. Are you going the speed limit?
Yeah. Not
Okay.
as much as we're trying to not draw attention to our, armor-clad selves.
There's
Yes.
no hiding what we are.
Yeah. There's no no emergency, no running
Basically,
around.
are you look like you're out for a leisurely stroll, or does it look like you're going to an emergency situation?
Probably just closer to a leisurely stroll.
All right. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So as you're driving down the road, weaving in and out of traffic safely, stopping to let people cross the street, occasional citizen comes up, gets a selfie with you on your bikes, asks you where the other rangers are, and you're obeying all the traffic rules. You pull up to the front door of the Emigrant Tech building. Security greets you outside, comes up to you, says, Power Rangers? What are you doing here?
We need to speak with Dr. Tam. We believe he might be able to help us with a delicate situation.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, thank God I actually know what I'm doing on this one. I'm not just skating by the skin of my teeth, but I actually have points in persuasion.
Same.
Is it higher than? Is it a D4 or?
It's a D6.
There you go.
Damn. Okay, you're absolutely the
I've
right
kind of
person to
put
be
anytime
there.
I've gotten a social upgrade, it's gone into persuasion. Because
Nice.
that seems like a good idea to do.
It is.
Look,
Yep.
if I was building myself to be a leader type, 22.
Okay. The guard looks a little like, this has never come up before. And you see him kind of turn away from you a little bit, press the button on his radio, and calls it in. You can just barely make out the words, I've got a couple of Power Rangers out here. They need to see Dr. Tam. And you can hear like a little staticky reply, but he seems to understand it perfectly. And he walks over to the front door, pulls out his key card, swipes it, and the door's open. Go right into reception, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as you walk in, the door's shut behind you, and you could hear the sound of an electronic lock activating. And it's a large... You enter into a large lobby. Glossy tiled floors, monitors everywhere showing advertisements for Emigrant-based technologies, advertising their research and development department. Pretty much the typical thing you would see in an advanced technology firm. Off to one side, you see a row of elevators. And against the wall to your left, you see the reception desk where a young woman with light brown hair is now standing at the desk, her hands clasped in front of her, a look of excitement on her face. and she's like barely able to contain herself as you two enter.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Well, I'm just great. Thank you for asking.
Good.
And she's like obviously distracted. Because it's not every day she gets to see the town's superheroes.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that we're technically superheroes, aren't we?
Yeah. And the security guard's like, yeah, whatever, I got a gun.
It's like a superpower.
And she's like, you see her like kind of shake herself. She's, you need to see Dr. Tam, right?
Yes, please.
And she looks at her panel in front of her on the desk, leans over it, and you can still see she's like giddy. Presses a few buttons, and she reaches to. You hear like a whirring, printing sound, and she pulls out this little piece of plastic from underneath, like from behind, in a hidden pocket of the desk that you can't see from standing in front of it, and hands this little white card with a barcode stripe on it. This will give you access to the elevator. Just swipe it, and when you step in, it'll immediately take you to the 6th floor, and it'll allow you to come back down.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And she like curls her hair around her ear, like she doesn't know what to do with her hands.
Okay, I'll reach out, grab the card.
And you can almost see her like breath catch as your gloved hand touches her hand. This girl doesn't get out much.
I'm not gonna laugh. I'm not gonna laugh.
She's not even gonna notice. Unless you're like gut busting laughing.
I'm gonna nod and turn around and start ask her which way are the elevators.
And she just kind of like smirks and she points right over to them. They're right over there.
Fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just start making my way to the elevators.
All right. She doesn't sit down. You know, like when you get to the elevator, and you swipe the card on the sensor, doors open, you start walking inside, and you turn around, and you can see that she's still standing there with like a shit-eating grin on her face. Like, you just absolutely made her day. Doors shut, and you can hear you can just barely hear the motors of the elevator pulling it up, as it has some sort of sound buffering technology that makes it like very fast and very quiet.
I'm gonna like stand there awkwardly like you do in an elevator. Not something a Power Ranger you would see do, just like hands crossed in front of them. You know?
Rocking back and forth on your heels.
Yeah. I'm just gonna like mumble something to Jonas. You know, this is just like the Parasol organization in that one video game. Neighborhood Malevolence? Something like that.
So the elevator trip is fast and smooth. And as you come to the stop...
Elevators that actually work. Imagine that.
Yeah. Hey, if something breaks there, they just fix it themselves with alien tech.
Oh,
you'll be lucky to not end up on the moon in their elevators. The doors open after the elevator loudly dings. It's like the one thing that's not quiet on this ride. And you step out, and there is like a hallway that leads down a little bit and branches out into this other massive research and development wing. And a security guard walks up to you. Says, excuse me, sirs. he seems like he's a little awkward. Like you're not the usual guests on this floor. So he's like, all right, am I handling this according to protocol? Am I using the right term? Like, whatever. He's like, I'm just going to do my job. Try to ignore the fact that you guys are Power Rangers. You're here to see Dr. Tam?
Yes, please.
Follow me. He's got this very militaristic nature. And he starts walking down the hallway towards the expanded room area. And you see a few scientists working on different projects scattered around the room. You see some sparks fly from one scientist, and he starts giggling because he's finally gotten a response from what he was working on. Others are working very diligently at their computers. None of them even notice you. And then there's Dr. Tam, who is a young, probably late 20s, early to mid 30s at the oldest man who wearing his lab coat, and he practically jumps around his desk and starts power walking over to you guys. And he's like, wow, Power Rangers, huge fan. What can I do for you guys today? And he's like, almost like aggressively, like violently shakes your hands because he's excited.
Can we talk to you in private for a moment?
Oh, yeah, sure. He brings you over to his desk, and as you stand like around the desk, he presses a button, and you can see like the glass like walls come up from the floor to complete like an enclosure around his desk, and then it does that whole frosting effect. And if you weren't wearing your helmets, your ears would have popped. You're now in a like negative pressure, soundproof enclosure. What can I do for you guys? I'm always happy to help the Power Rangers.
We have a bit of a delicate situation.
Okay.
Do you remember, what was it, a
few weeks?
A few weeks ago?
Yeah, it would have been a few weeks.
A few weeks ago, there was all sorts of strangeness happening.
You mean that weird temporal disturbance that caused people to disappear?
Yeah.
I'd say that was strange. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
We've been kind of looking into it, and we think we found something, but we can't be certain.
Whatever caused the event happened, it unfortunately, whatever it's done has left certain energy contaminants in and around the area. This means that any of our existing sensor technologies cannot work around. Basically, it's blocking out our existing tech to be able to look into the situation.
Okay.
We were hoping that we could either borrow or have you use it. Your good listener.
You see this look of like
filter out the energies.
How did you hear about Good Listener?
Outside meta question for a moment.
Yeah.
How did Zordon find out?
Oh man. Oh man, here we go. Now we're just gonna go down a rabbit hole. Like, does anybody even know about Zordon? Do we explain to him So we got this robot.
Zordon,
I have
alien technology advanced and a robot entire thing. So it's not entirely out of the bag that they could get something like that.
I have an option if you need me to.
Well,
I just wanted to ask the DM first.
Zordon has, because of his Eltarian technology, he's able to get information more easily. That's why as soon as a monster spawns, oh look, I know exactly what the hell it's called.
Okay, I have a possible answer.
So he basically pulls a Cerebro.
Yeah, I mean he's a floating head, tapped into the morphing grid.
He is the internet.
He knows all. He sees all.
Yeah,
I thought he was a person in that floating head tube.
That was in the movie. His body, if you go by comics, his body's been decimated.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
And
okay,
it's just his spirit now.
Yeah.
Getting caught in a time warp is freaky business.
Yeah.
So it's whatever the person telling the story wants to have it be.
Okay, I got it. Leave it to me, Colin.
Go ahead.
Okay. Your company works with alien tech. You're cutting edge tech, and the Rangers, whether it's our generation or previous generations of us, have always had our eyes and our ears open. And we hear things. Most of the time, we don't need to do anything about it. But you can imagine someone who does not necessarily have good intentions getting a hold of technology they shouldn't. How bad that could possibly be.
Okay. Give me a persuasion skill check.
Okay, one moment. Oh yeah,
let me find.
I forgot about that.
And let me find his stats. Okay, there we go. 5 pages off.
Oh, that's pretty damn good. Right 24.
Okay.
Too shy of my theoretical maximum at the moment.
He looks and he says, or he's like looking at you. He goes, you know what? That makes absolute sense. I would do the same thing. Okay. Well, and he starts thinking things over and he goes, it's still experimental. And I mean, I want to let you guys use it. I trust you. Can you give me any more information about what is, like, how it's going to be used?
One moment. This is me spitballing, so this is out of...
Yeah.
I just need to spitball for a moment. So, we're using the scanner, good listener, to act as a filter or a new type of scanner? What exactly?
You're basically, the way Zordon explained it, you'll be combining it with existing technology that you have at the command center to get past the interference and triangulate the source of the initial energy wave as a means to eventually lead to stopping it from ever happening again and possibly get the kidnapped or the taken people back.
Use it to boost, scan, and triangulate.
That's easy enough. 3, 2, 1, play on.
And scene.
Right now, our plan is to combine it with our sensor array to be able to move past the interference that I was telling you about, to be able to triangulate the source of the wave. Once we know where the coordinates for that, we're going to be doing some search and rescue. Not everyone. There's still plenty of people missing from that incident that we need to find and bring home.
And you see him almost like he's doing the math in his head. Give me one more persuasion check.
$22 crit on the skill die.
Okay. So you see him start rubbing his chin like he's really in thought. Pulls out a pen and starts writing some symbols and numbers down on a piece of paper. And you see him draw some lines and he's doing other things. And it's like he's almost forgotten that there are two Power Rangers standing right next to him.
I just let him
And he's
do his thing. I know
Yeah,
better than interfering with the sciencey types when they're doing stuff.
Yeah, if anything, John's just thinking, I wish I was smart enough to understand what I'm looking at.
And he suddenly just stands upright. He goes, huh. Okay. So in order to use Good Listener to help in your ways, you're going to need to go to multiple locations. And he just starts rambling. All this stuff about trajectory and locations and all this information. And it is going right over your heads. And then he stops and goes, oh, sorry, I got lost in the math again.
That's fine.
And he goes, yeah, okay. You're going to need to take it with you. So here's how it works. And he gives you the rundown of basically how it works. A lot of technical jargon that he tries to kind of dumb down. Does not do it very well. He's used to talking to other scientists. But you get the general idea. That you do have to it's got to be hooked directly into another scanning device, and you're going to have to move around to specific locations. But he then lowers the privacy wall. He says, come with me. And he walks over to a small, well, like a double door size vault door built into a wall. And he puts his hand against a seemingly normal tile. And you see a green light from beneath the tile just scan his hand, and the door opens. He steps inside. So you guys need to wait outside, though. Walks into the vault. You hear a couple of buttons being pushed, and another safe door open. And he comes out with a box. Inside this box is Good Listener. And it's about the size of it's maybe about 8 to 10 inches squared or cubed, actually. And he says, you got to be very careful with the box. Keep it inside the box until you're ready to use it. And you're ready to connect it with your device. This is proprietary tech. and he goes over to his desk, signs a document, and presses a button on the desk, which you've come to realize it wasn't paper that he was writing on. It was like a whiteboard, a digital whiteboard built into his desk. And he just sent the authorization forms for you guys to leave with this box, so the security won't stop you.
Nice.
And just, I know your jobs can get pretty hectic and dangerous. This is the only prototype. Please try not to damage it. And he hands you the box. And says, good luck.
Thank you.
And the security guard that brought you over comes back. And doesn't even say anything to you this time, just kind of extends his hand pointing towards the elevator. Like he's waving you to go back there. Do you follow him or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. He walks with you over to the elevator. You swipe the key card on the panel. Doors open. You go in. He gives you like a little good luck type nod. And then the doors shut and you head down to the lobby. As you come out, you see over by the reception desk there is now like 6 or 7 other young receptionists standing there, almost as giddy as the first one was. Just excited to see Power Rangers.
It's the uniform, right? They dig the uniform.
Chicks dig the suit. Chicks dig the Zord.
Chicks dig the core.
And you see that the one that you talked to already is standing there, same as she was before, trying to keep her composure. And as you're walking by with the box in hand, she's like, excuse me.
Yes.
I need the key card back.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'll hand her the key card.
She takes it from you, blushes, and all her like fellow receptionists are kind of like giddy with her. You can tell that these women do not get out much at all. Or they just have no social life.
They're book talk girls.
She thanks you for giving the card back. And she says, thanks for coming to Emigren. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Well.
And as you approach the front door, the security guard stationed inside swipes his card and the door opens. And you see that there is a small group of people standing around the Uma Riders.
Sorry. I just had this whole like image in my head of like chirping the lock alarm. just
remotely revving the engine.
Oh man. If
all you hear, instead of a chirp alarm or a revved engine, you hear a horse.
Yeah. Sorry. Excuse us.
Mission? Ricky talking, not me.
Wait, what happened? What'd you say?
Ricky's just like through the comms, been observing. He's been observing through the windows, like you guys going along the places, and he's like, "Well, that was slightly boring, but that's good."
Boring's great. It's okay.
Oh, you don't want boring?
It's
okay, hang on.
Nah.
Yeah, boy.
Nah.
Yeah, boy. TPK.
It's
Now
don't you
I
bring
roll well.
Zed along now, please.
Yeah.
No, it's the classic. It's the classic. Boring is good.
Yeah.
It's just not what we're used to.
What do you think was scarier, the armed men or all the receptionists that appeared out of the ether?
Well, to be honest, Ricky was not there to be socially awkward, so he's fine.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and like walk up to the Uma Rider and like essentially make myself seen and try to get myself onto my bike.
Okay. The crowd parts. They're just excited to see actual Power Rangers. They weren't sure if it was going to be cosplayers. But they see you and they're like, okay, yeah, these guys are legit.
Man, I thought it was gonna be He-Man.
just
You
gonna-
knew it was happening,
I'm
guys.
just gonna go over the comms just to fuck with John and Jonas and be like, hey, me and Ricky made some nice schmoes. Do you want some? He purposefully says s'mores wrong.
We got the. I guess we're fucking. Let's ride off into the sunset, Jonas. I mean, I'm not gonna call you Jonas out loud. You ready to ride off into the sunset?
Yeah, let's go.
Hi ho, Silver, away!
Meanwhile, we just get teleported back to the center, and we're just there, still relaxing when you guys arrive.
Ricky
We
and
haven't-
Donovan teleport once they realize that there's no need for them to be standing there. And Jonas, as you and John take off on the Uma Riders down the street, you feel the sensation that you're being teleported. And as you ride away, all that the assembled people see is you and the Uma Riders just teleport and disappear.
Great Scott!
If there was any doubt that you guys were legit Power Rangers, it is now gone.
It admittedly would have been funny if one of them's like, I don't know, man, that looks pretty fake.
I've seen some pretty good CGI.
That'd
Okay.
probably be me if I was down there.
Now, you all reconvene in the command center.
Hey guys,
Alpha
how's
comes
it
over.
going? Want to smoke? Casually pulls out s'more from nowhere.
Alpha comes over, takes the box from you, opens it up, and pulls out the energy analyzer known as Good Listener. And you can see on like a work tray, there's another familiar piece of technology next to it. And he goes to start working on them. And Zordon starts speaking. Excellent work, Power Rangers. Alpha and I have tracked down the quadrant of the Black Eye Galaxy from where the Machine Empire originated the assaults on Angel Grove. The trouble is, however, that our search has narrowed down the location to any one of roughly 1,000 planets and their various satellite bodies, such as moons and pseudo-solid rings. That is still an extremely large area of space to search, so we need you to use the Good Listener device to narrow things down. There are 5 locations you need to go to in order to align the signal to triangulate the location or the source of the initial energy wave. The first is the top of the Harrison Street apartments. And everybody give me a culture skill check, please.
All right.
And we're going to use this for all of the locations to see if you know anything about them. So Ricky doesn't know anything.
Baby!
Yes.
That is a 23 with a crit on the D4.
Okay.
17.
Okay. Fade, what you get for a culture check? Oh, he's muted. Are you there, Fade?
You are muted.
Yeah.
Sorry,
There he is.
I was doing something. My bad.
All right. Give me a culture skill check.
Oh, oh Lord. How do I roll if I have a snag? Just 2d20s?
Yeah, do /R space 2d20. You can re-roll that one. So just do /R1. Yeah, there you go. All right. So you basically got a 10. All right. So all of you have some familiarity with the locations. John, actually no, I'm sorry. Ricky does not.
I was about to say, how
His
do
mind,
I?
his mind is a void. John, you instantly when you hear each of those locations, there's something about it you know. And Jonas, you are familiar. It takes you a minute or so to realize why you're familiar with these areas. But then a pattern starts to emerge. First one is the top of the Harrison Street apartments, which is the roof of Jason's apartment complex. Then there is the Municipal Gardens gazebo, where Aisha went missing. Hole 7 Frisbee Golf at Fielding Park, which is, I forget who went missing there. Let me see. Did someone go missing there, or was it just something else? Because you've gone to Fielding Park a couple of times. Yeah, Fielding Park is where you dealt with some putties that were interrupting a picnic. The roof of Angel Gate Mall, where you met your new good buddy Genghis Khan. And the tunnel exit on Shukheim Island. That's 5. And Shukheim Island is, of course, the island above the entrance to the Dragonzord's lair. Zordon continues on saying, you have to use the good listener device at each of these locations long enough to triangulate a signal. You have to one of you will have to use the device you'll have to spread out who uses it at which location, because this is not just going to a location using the device and getting a result. You have to send an enhanced signal burst along the remnants of the energy path up into space. So you need to have a clear line of sight of the sky. And it will require a power boost from whoever uses it. You will have to be morphed, and you will have to give a portion of your morphed energy to the device to power it. And it will take roughly 30 to 60 seconds to get an accurate reading. Now, Alpha hands you the now adjusted device, and the piece of equipment that was familiar was the Energic Analyzer. The same device that you used to absorb a lot of the mechanomantic static in the past.